In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made cork pumpkins. And for this pumpkin, you're going to need 24 corks. But later on in the video, I'm going to be showing you two different versions, a smaller pumpkin and a pumpkin about the same size but a little bit of a different shape. So for this pumpkin, you're going to go ahead and start by gluing together 2 rows of 4 corks, 2 rows of 5, and 1 row of 6. And for the 2 in corks of each row, you're going to want to try and face any sort of saying on the cork away from the outside edge. That way your pumpkin doesn't have as much wording on the sides. At least that's my personal preference, is to have it more of the plain cork showing. But otherwise, for the center corks, it doesn't really matter which way they're facing. And also try and have the side with the wine stain on it all facing the same direction, because that side you're going to want to either paint or leave how it is, and then the other side will just be plain for the back of the pumpkin. And now that you have all 5 rows of corks glued together, we're going to glue them all together, and I use some clear drying glue because hot glue is not going to be the best for this part, because you're not really going to be able to tell exactly where the corks end up touching, and you don't want to have big chunks of glue showing through the little cracks in between each layer of the corks. So I just applied some glue to both sides of the individual corks and then glued each of the rows together. For this pumpkin, I wanted to leave a lot of the natural wine staining and just plain corks as they were, but I did want to add a little bit of a pop of orange, so just for a couple of the corks, I went ahead and painted them orange, and I used my Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin to do this. Now you could totally paint your pumpkin whatever colors you want. You will see later on in the video that I painted some of my pumpkins totally orange, so I just painted every single cork orange and didn't leave any of them plain. I ended up painting about 7 of the corks orange, and then I painted a few more using a light brown color. Now I'm going to take a cork and glue this to the top of my pumpkin in the middle for the pumpkin stem. Then I'm going to attach some fake leaves to the top of my pumpkin, and I put one on both sides of the pumpkin stem. And then I decided to also add a little piece of twine around the cork stem and tied this in a little bow to finish up this cork pumpkin. And here is how the final cork pumpkin turned out. And here is another version of the cork pumpkin that you can make. For a smaller pumpkin, you will do a row of 3 corks, a row of 4 for the middle, and then another row of 3 corks. And here is a set of 3 that I made, so they kind of all look similar, and I think they look cute as a set of 3. Here is the third version of the cork pumpkins that I made. And for this one, you're going to do a row of 5 corks, a row of 6, a row of 7 for the middle, and then another row of 6 and another row of 5. Here is the set of cork pumpkins that I painted totally orange so that you can get another idea for how you want to paint your pumpkins.